Greetings, folks. I'm Dan Mack from the Shred Shack here with the Broken Page. May you introduce yourselves?
Hey everybody, I am Sindel, the Broken Page.
Artie.
And Paul.
Aaron. Razor.
Okay. So first off, who among you were a part of the initial group of the Broken Page?
That would actually be me and Ray.
Okay.
We started the project actually during COVID. We couldn't stop playing music, and so we were just sending files back and forth, with each other, because it was during that time where we were all quarantined, and everybody was trying to stay home. So we just started sending music to each other, and then we wrote one song, and we called it the Quarantine Jam.
Yeah.
And then it grew into a whole album called the Quarantine Album, which later evolved into our current album that is on all streaming platforms, called Chapter Zero. And it's just what me and Ray have created at the beginning. And we called it Chapter Zero to state that this was just the beginning. It was the raw, the before, kind of the prequel to what we are now today.
What the vision is.
Yeah.
How'd the rest of you guys get involved?
I came later after them two. I came in May, and then after that we had several, not I wouldn't say several, but we had a couple good lineups, but then these guys, first it was Artie.
Yeah, their bass player had left the band, so they were like looking for me to fill in. And
Yeah, he started out filling in. He filled in a week's notice, and it was a pretty big show for us.
Yeah.
And it went great response. We did great, and so
Aaron.
Yeah.
that's where it started.
Aaron, our sex symbol.
He's our latest addition.
He's our latest addition.
Yeah.
Sex symbol.
He hasn't been with us too long, but he knows we've played together for many years,
Yeah.
and so we know each other really well, and we feel like this is the best thing for the band.
Yeah. Yeah, we searched for a second guitarist for quite some time, actually.
We asked him, and he turned us down.
Yeah.
I turned him down like 3 times.
He did. He did.
Yeah, he did.
He
I
did.
don't know how I feel about it. All right.
We're still,
I'm still holding that grudge.
still painful. But yeah, no. Aaron is our newest addition. However, not someone who hasn't been around us, doesn't know the vibe. I mean, he's especially played with Art and Ray quite a bit, and
yourself?
and me. I mean, now it's been 6 years since I've known specifically Ray and Razor and Aaron and Art. We've jammed quite a bit with each other. We've shared a lot, so it's kind of crazy. To me, it kind of feels like everything kind of came full circle, honestly, because whether it was me and Razor playing with other people, or me and Artie talking about music and playing on some stuff together, or me and Aaron working through stuff together, I've always felt very connected to everybody here. Like they were the missing pieces, and we just finally found the time and the opportunity to put all those pieces together to make what we have now.
Yeah, and it really clicks.
Yeah, really does.
Because I know that each of you have kind of had your own separate times in other groups beforehand, and now kind of all together just collaborating here and now.
Yeah.
So does it feel like one solid unit that you felt like was missing after for so long?
We didn't have a second guitarist. That kind of it didn't. We always had it.
We did for a second.
We did for a second at first, but then we did go along. In my eyes, a good stretch that we didn't have a second guitarist, and it kind of didn't feel. It didn't feel our music because
The potential.
what you hear on the Chapter Zero, there's multiple guitar riffs going
Two
on.
guitars,
but, Razor can only do so much to fill it out. And
I
then,
can do it, man.
Let me do it.
Awesome.
Put me in, coach.
I knew we needed a second guitar player.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as far as your question, for me, what it's transpiring is we've had a lot of great musicians play with us. We've had, we've had different drummers, we've had different bass players, and they all had their zest, man. They all added something to the group. When I first started seeing how, the links worked, you know what I mean? Like how the connection was between all of us, was when Art came into the band, and he just it's weird when you meet another musician who can not only feel themselves in the song, but also feel you. They're feeling what you're throwing out. They're feeling what's happening, and it's not so much that we didn't have that connection with other musicians. You know, there is an extreme amount of talent in San Antonio, an extreme amount. And I mean, when I say we played with quite a few people before we got to this point, we did. And but when Art got on stage with us and he started jamming our songs, it was just something that was just like it was married, you know. It was just a mix of flavor that just worked.
Got enough me enough
And the same thing with Aaron. You know, even though Aaron said no a billion gajillion times,
I knew he was gonna
and denied us the privilege. Once he started coming in, it was just like that. It just, everything just melded together softly, and there's not a lot of like tension to write stuff. It's actually one of the harder things we have to combat, is that we come up with a lot of good stuff together, but it's hard to focus in because we're always creating that much juice with one another. Like it's always flowing.
Always beating up each
Yeah,
other.
the juices are created.
The dog needs the juice.
So I mean, it did feel like it was missing once I felt it. You know, once I heard how it was with Art, once I heard how it was with Aaron, once I heard how it was, you know, with Paulie, it felt like it had been missing that whole time.
Cool. Individually, who would you say are your biggest influences for the instruments you play? So,
I play a touch of the accordion. No, personally for me, I have a very wide variety of music that I listen to. I love Lauryn Hill and Alicia Keys as far as like my R&B runs, things like that. Christina Aguilera for that really good vocal fry. I listen to a lot of mariachi music too. Ana Gabriel, Rocío Dúrcal. And then as far as rock music, actually, despite popular belief, love Evanescence, but not one of my go-tos. It's actually Lizzie Hell from Hellstorm. She has a great banshee scream. She's got great range. Her execution vocally is just spot on, and she's as good as she is on paper as she is live. She really does execute, and vocally, I try to work up to that because she really does a great job, and she has a great range. So that would be mine.
Me, I always said I've always been into classic rock. I mean, always been Zeppelin, always my favorite. Like as far as like bass playing, probably Zeppelin, Cream. In high school, I was big into I got into metal, so Metallica.
Whoa.
I forgot to turn it off. Sorry, Art. Edit. Continue.
So Metallica, but I was also hanging out with people who were into like rap, so I got into like hip hop a little bit. So there's that influence. So yeah, mostly metal and classic rock.
Yeah.
Mine, I'm a big Motley Crue fan.
boo!
Hey, they're good.
I'll boo you
Good.
tomorrow.
Whatever. Big Motley Crue. Tommy Lee, I got introduced to him when I was 5 years old. My dad literally showed me all the music. He showed me all my influences, from Thomas Lane to Tommy Aldridge to John Bonham. You know, all the greats. That's the same as Sindel. I listen to a variety of music. I listen to my Latin roots, listen to some rap. The only influence I have for my Latin roots would just be another guy from my hometown, Seguin, Joey Jimenez. He's my influence when it comes to my Latin roots. So all the classic greats and, you know, just another local from my hometown.
I started off as a young listening to Michael Jackson and the Star Wars soundtrack for Empire Strikes Back, so I was into orchestra. And then when I got into middle school, I started getting into band, played trombone, but I knew that the music was always going to be there. So after that, I got an acoustic my uncle gave me, and didn't know how to tune it, and just learned how to play it. And then my influences from there for was Metallica and old like Helmet, back the 90s music. Then I started getting into gangster rap, R&B, hip hop,
Right on.
techno, all the 90s stuff that was really emotional. Started getting into that, and what wound up leading me to the guitar playing now is more Tool influence, a Pink Floyd influence. But I kind of steer away from that due to the fact this project is different because I come from a different background as far as writing goes. So now it would be like Breaking Benjamin and more Linkin Park, or but still keeping my roots, you know, go back to basics, back and forth.
Okay.
But I like variety of stuff, so it doesn't really matter to me what I do.
I guess my biggest influence would have been Rick Hammett from Triumph, or you know, he's also a solo artist too. Great guitar player, lots of classical movements in it. I was really mesmerized by all the things he could do as one person, and yeah, that's why I wanted to play guitar.
As far as the Broken Page goes, if you were to give yourself a subgenre, what would you call yourselves?
That's a good question.
Hard.
Especially with some of the stuff we're writing now.
Yeah, that's a hard, good question.
I say
Alternative.
progressive, alternative.
Yeah, it has to be alternative.
I always keep it in the alternative.
because they have some weird stuff in the alternative category, right?
That's
Yeah.
true.
I
Yeah.
put on my Spotify alternative list or whatever, and it's some weird stuff.
I would say alternative new metal.
I always keep it
There you
alternative.
go.
I don't ever put anything after it. I just say alternative now. 'Cause
Yeah,
I just
but
said
there
alternative.
is a pretty good amount of new metal.
Yeah, I would say alternative new metal
Yeah.
So
for now.
you
Things
mentioned
change.
initially that the writing was between yourself and Ray here, and then as more band members came on, it sounds like it became more of a collaborative process for the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
band, and it
definitely.
just sounds like you guys write together. But like you said, it's maybe a little hard to focus or hard to put things together because of the fact that things keep coming out.
We're so creative. Like we can sit here and Ray will pop a riff, or I'll pop a riff, and then we just take it. You know, we don't discuss where it's going. We don't like, hey, we don't do all this editing till after we're jamming it out, and then we start putting together where it should be or how it should be or this and that. But it's never like, okay, well, this is the way it is and this is how we're gonna do it. No, now creatively, all of us as individuals, as a
Everybody has
band,
input.
Yeah.
everybody has input, and that's what's really great about being in a band like that, because we can all put whatever comes out of it's us. It's not just individual people. It's
Right.
like all of us.
That's the way it was always meant to be.
Yeah.
The way we wanted
Yeah.
it.
We always discussed it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the beginning parts, when just me and Ray were writing, we were very open, both of us, to any kind of constructive criticism, or if I was having a hard time writing something he wrote, I would ask him, like, what were you feeling when you wrote this? What was happening or what was going on?
And we were anxious to get members.
Oh, yeah,
to,
for sure.
To come on and
Because it helps
bring it
a-
to life. You know?
Yeah, not only bring it to life, but it also helps me create more. It's almost like a coloring box. Like, I can have red, blue, green, white, orange, but Aaron has yellow and purple, and so on and so forth. Everybody has their approach to it, or their feelings. A lot of the writing that we do is just that. It's a feeling.
Now,
Yeah. Now.
Hey, I felt
I mean,
it.
no, but
Okay.
it's a collective feeling with everybody. So before it was just, it's weird because you can really see the difference in the feelings
Oh,
that
yeah.
we had at the time, especially being in quarantine, especially going through this whole new pandemic, this whole new way of life. We had a lot of feelings about that. We shared our feelings with each other. We wrote music about it and all that. And now having them, it's just, even though we have so much in common in
It's
certain
changed.
aspects, it's
It's
changed.
changed.
It's
And we love
a-
it. We're evolving.
yeah,
This is-
I love that. I
this
love
is
that we
the
challenge
journey.
each other. Yeah, we challenge each other, and we're evolving, and we're creating a sound that is not just of me and him. It's
Yeah.
of everyone.
Yeah. Definitely.
And okay, as you mentioned earlier, there is Chapter Zero out on streaming platforms. I know it's definitely on Spotify because that's how I heard it. So that came out, what, 2 years ago now?
Yeah, it's got to be 2 years now.
Okay, so it sounds like things have been otherwise brewing. So when can we expect a recording process?
Man,
I think honestly, I don't. Me personally, I don't think I could put a date on that because all of us being creative as we are, we need to figure out, but we need to be content and happy with what we have before we actually put it out there.
I'm thinking the fall of next year.
Yeah.
At least be in the studio. At least be in the studio.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of material and ideas to sort through and to finish and complete. And then songs that we had on the table that we said will carry on to the next effort. And with these guys, it's like writing the songs again, which is not a complaint, it's an upgrade, you know. So
Yeah.
we're taking our time and we're making sure that we're not pushing out filler. And we're really putting ourselves into these songs.
Now,
So-
I'm gonna say, just as a personal goal, we've talked about this too. I mean, we're not necessarily gonna leave everybody wanting. We definitely want to have one new single.
Yeah, we're gonna do some singles.
So, and we do have the single Memories out right now too, as well, on top of Chapter Zero.
Okay.
So that is out as well, and we have some stuff in the works for that one as well too. But we're not going to be silent, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We're definitely, I think we're just so excited about what we are creating that Aaron's right. Like we want to give the best representation of what it is now. You know, and that was the intention of naming it Chapter Zero. That was honestly the intention of naming it The Broken Page. You know, we named the band The Broken Page because it's all about the pieces that have fallen and we were coming together, and it still makes a statement. It still makes a picture. It still makes something that you didn't expect, but it's there. And you know, that's what we're aiming for. That's always been, you know, the goal, and it's really coming, like I said, full circle with this group for sure.
Okay. Aside from future potential recording and whatnot, what do you feel the future holds for this band?
Sky's the limit, baby.
A lot. All I can say is a lot. A lot of good things are happening.
I just have to look at it like when we're ready, we're ready.
Oh, we're gonna be ready.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna do festivals, and we're gonna do some touring. You know,
a lot of good things are coming.
Yeah, we got some stuff
Brewing.
You know, we don't want to talk a lot about it because people talk a lot, and we don't need to be part of that. But we're hoping that things will come sooner than later. But they're gonna come. We're working really, really hard. We're doing everything the right way. We're doing some sacrificing, and it's paying off.
Okay.
And we're definitely, all of us have agreed and have shared that we're in a place in our lives right now where this is the all or nothing, and we're going for it. We're putting all of our energy, all of our effort into anything and everything with this, because this is who we are. This is a reflection of our souls, and this is a reflection of our lives, and this is a reflection of what we are, and not just as a band but as individuals. And we can't wait. I mean, we cannot wait to share that with the world. So we're very excited about it.
Okay, sounds good. So that's my last primary question. So we're gonna move on to the lightning round now.
Okay, how's this working?
Sweaty hands.
You shock me, and
Yes,
then
I
what?
shock you.
I drink a beer.
There's what?
So just
It's my beer.
it's going to be a handful of simple questions for the most part, and like I said, we're just going to go from my left to the right as far as answering goes,
Oh, so I'm
and just
first.
answer as fast as
Fantastic.
possible.
Of course.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
I'm not ready.
Chicken or steak?
Steak.
Chicken.
He said
Chicken.
Steak.
Chicken,
Coffee or tea?
coffee.
Coffee.
Tea.
Coffee.
tea,
Okay. Waffles or pancakes?
Oh,
Waffles.
wobbles.
Both. Both.
Waffles.
Waffles.
All right. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
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 Cats.
Ew.
Dogs.
Okay. Elvis Presley or the Beatles?
Elvis Presley.
Beatles.
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 Okay. In Black Sabbath, do you prefer Dio or Ozzy?
Oh.
Ozzy.
Your turn.
Oh, Dio.
You skipped me. No.
Ozzy.
Dio.
Okay. In Van Halen, do you prefer David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar?
Oh,
Calm down.
Van Halen, not Van Hagar.
You are
David Lee Roth.
I'll have to go with Sammy Hagar.
Sammy.
Sammy.
Okay. Who would win in an arm wrestling match, Lemmy or God?
Lemmy.
Let me.
Trick question.
Draw.
Trick question. Trick question. Lemmy is God.
Yeah.
Sum up Metallica's last 25 years in 3 words or less.
25 years?
25 years?
Yeah, this is going
Three-
back. This is going back to just.
Before the Black Album or after?
No, this is going to like
So-
Saint Anger. Just,
yeah.
just
Ah,
before.
drums aren't better. That's all. 3 words. Drums
Everybody's
aren't
gonna
better.
hate me for this, but I'm just gonna say it. It was shit.
What are your 3 words?
This is disappointing.
Drums aren't better. That's aren't. Drums aren't better.
New drummer.
Now.
They need a new drummer.
I'm so sorry.
And if the band, The Broken Page, were stranded on a desert island, who gets eaten first?
I think Paul. He's the most
100%.
tender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More tender.
Yeah,
He's easy to take down.
Yeah.
There's no
I'd probably just
fighting
let-
it.
If they just gave me the look, I'd be like, all right, just get it over with.
Here it is.
Yeah, he would be he would sacrifice
That's weird.
himself.
He would,
That's-
he would enjoy
He
it.
would,
That's
he'd be
weird.
like, start with my leg.
Yeah.
I want to watch you roast it.
All the big meats up here. So just-
Upon the flesh, no more, no less.
All right, so thank you very much, guys. This is The Broken Page. Again, you can go on to any streaming service and find the release Chapter 0. Take a listen. Guys, I want to thank you for
Thank you.
spending your time with me and allowing me to come into your home and ask questions, of course.